off as the game begins. Pretty cheerleaders and last-minute wins. The screaming crowd and the linebacker stares. Scrambling quarterbacks and retrievers in the air. Big hits are coming, the backs are cutting inside. Everybody turns it up Monday night. Everybody's a fan. Hey, this is D-Biggest party, man. We got swinging now and then. They got the thing started. We got the week, it's the time that is right. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. I gotta get ready, make everything right. Monday night football coming on tonight. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. Hey, this is rockin' random ain't ready to get the good time started. We got the teams on the field and we turned up the lights. All my rowdy friends are back for Monday night. Now everyone watches this primetime show. New York, Nashville, San Francisco. We love to watch the kickoff as the game begins. Pretty cheerleaders and last-minute wins. The screaming crowd and the linebacker stares. Scrambling quarterbacks and retrievers in the air. Big hits are coming, the backs are cutting inside. Everybody turns it up Monday night. Everybody's a fan. Hey, this is D-Biggest party, man. We got swinging now and then. They got the thing started. We got the week, it's the time that is right. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. I gotta get ready, make everything right. Monday night football coming on tonight. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. Hey, this is rockin' random ain't ready to get the good time started. We got the teams on the field and we turned up the lights. All my rowdy friends are back for Monday night. Now everyone watches this primetime show. New York, Nashville, San Francisco. We love to watch the kickoff as the game begins. Pretty cheerleaders and last-minute wins. The screaming crowd and the linebacker stares. Scrambling quarterbacks and retrievers in the air. Big hits are coming, the backs are cutting inside. Everybody turns it up Monday night.
Welcome to this year's edition of hand-high Tiger football for the Thanksgiving Day game against the Guilford Indians. Right now, we're paying tribute to hand seniors, number 64, Chris Conley on the field.
And next we have...
Next is Justin Kingsley, number 74. Next is co-captain Ned Lynch, number 22. Next is John McHenry, number 78.
Number 88, Matt Thomas.
Next is number 88, Matt Thomas. Next is number 72, Matt Young. And last but not least, number 82, Ken Wilson. This is always a game steeped in emotion, and it's usually led by the seniors. In this game, forehand to have the proper emotion to come out with a win, they're going to have the help of the underclassmen, because the senior class this year is a small senior class, but they're here for their last game, and this is going to be one of the most exciting games that they'll probably play in their lives. Here we are for Madison Community Television. This is Jerry Johnson along with Frank Turdoff and Lynn Richards with the starting lineup for hand. At center, number 54, Peter Clark. At end, number 91, Derek Dene. Fullback number 42, Greg DeConcilius. Number 68, Bill Donnelly. Number 7, Matt Gentile. Number 74, tackle Justin Kingsley. At tailback, number 22, Ned Lynch. At end, number 87, Sean Lynch. At guard, number 78, John McHenry. Number 88, Matt Thomas. Tackle, number 72, Matt Young. And there you have the starting lineup for the hand-high offensive Tigers. Here we are just before the start of the game with the captains coming on the field, John McHenry and Ned Lynch. For the hand-high Tigers coming to meet the Guilford Indians. The Guilford Indians are 4-5-1. The hand Tigers are 6-4. This is the first time ever that the outcome has league championship possibilities for both teams. If Hand beats Guilford and Stratford beats Bunnell, Hand will tie with Jonathan Law for the league title. If Law also loses, I believe they're playing foreign today, Hand will have an outright league championship. Likewise, situations loom for Guilford should they win today. It should be a very emotional game for both teams. There are 17 starters back from last year's Guilford team that lost to Hand by only 1 point. Hand may have the edge in the line, but Guilford has the edge with experience, speed, and misdirection. And one thing that our scouting report hasn't shown is that Hand will probably have the edge on the sidelines. We have great respect for the hand-high coaching staff, and I think that could be the edge today. Shoot. Back from Madison Community Television, this is Jerry Johnson along with Frank Turdoff and Lynn Richards. We're just about ready for kickoff. Ned Lynch has just teed up the ball. They're going to be kicking off to Guilford. Hand won the coin toss, elected to defer to Guilford. Guilford will be receiving the ball, and I think what Hand wants to do is shut Guilford down, force Guilford to punt early, get good field position, and then crank up their offense. Guilford has excellent special teams. They have some tremendous speed in the backfield. Sean will be kicking off to some real speedsters that'll be deep. Guilford will start on offense. What we'll see them come out with is a true wing tee, and they run the whole package. They'll run buck sweep from any formation. They'll run trap power option. They have about 3 different bootlegs. They run reverse. They run screens. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Frank.
Okay, here we go, and Shawnee Lynch goes, kicks it off. Sitting back there is a host of Guilford players, and it's picked up by Cole. Cole's one of the outstanding athletes in the league, and he's down at about the 25-yard line. Well, let's call that close to the 30 on that.
What we're going to see, Frank, is we're going to see Hand defensively running a man-to-man defense. It's going to look like a 3-deep zone. What they want to do is they want to free up the outside linebackers to stop the sweep. The wing T runs a lot of power at you on a sweep basis. They'll run away from formation. They'll run two formation. Steve Filippone has about 4 pages of offensive running plays and about 3 pages of offensive pass plays that he's outlined from game films. It's going to be very, very difficult for Hand to alter their defense.
Here we are with 2K quarterback. Takes hands off, and there's a breakaway a little bit there by Bouvet. He's thrown for a loss. It looked like he was trying to get some extra yardage off that. Wasn't quite down, but Hand was able to hold him back.
Nice initial hit by Matt Young, and what we just saw is an emotionally juiced-up defense that's going to have to stay juiced up to shut this explosive Guilford offense down today.
Well, it didn't take Guilford long to come up with a play in a huddle there. Toothache is getting ready to take the handoff under center now. He got the ball. He's handing off again. This time it's going out there to Gianforte, and he's trying to get the side, and he doesn't quite, although he gains 3 or 4 yards on that look out there, trying to catch up with the linebackers who brought him down, but it's a good spread out there by the defensive end.
And a good job by Cunningham to come up and seal off the end before they were able to get the first down, which brings up a 3rd and short.
3rd and short is about right, and it's short being about 3 yards. Okay, out of the huddle comes the Guilford team. Toothaker again, the junior, gets himself set. He's underneath the quarterback. He's got it. He's passing off again, this time coming over Coles on another sweep. And he has brought down a beautiful solo tackle by Kenny Wilson.
So what we've seen is we've seen Guilford come out, and they've swept to the left, they swept to the right, and what Hand wanted to do was loosen up the outside, loosen up the outside linebackers and allow them to stop the sweep, and they have stopped the sweep. They forced a 4th down situation, and Guilford's going to have to punt.
Yeah, 4th down here, and just about 1 yard, or a little less than that, but they are going to play it safe. Back is, okay, Hand was looking for maybe having a fake punt, but it didn't happen. And now you've got Gentile with the ball, and he's made it up to about the 41-yard line out there. All right, so the punt was a fairly good punt out there by Gianforte, although Toothaker does a lot of the kicking for him. Gianforte took that particular one, got it out there, got it good high in the air so that Matt was able to field it and get up, maybe run back about 7, I'd say.
So the game plan of deferring to Guilford has worked. Hand will start with good field position.
Good field position and good attitude on the defensive side. They say you're able to see it 3 and out. Okay, Gentile is kind of doing some hand signaling, a little bit of confusion, I'd say, on the play itself. Let's see how they come through that now. Okay, Matt Thomas is in motion. Going over to the right is Matt. He's looking to pass. He's faking a pass. And he takes it for a run of about 4 yards out there.
What I heard yesterday, Frank, was that Hand wants to throw the ball. They've been practicing for the last week and a half on offense, and 60% of everything they've done has been spent throwing the ball. They'll throw from a twin set, they'll throw from a slot, they'll throw from motion. That time they went in motion, and it was a sprint out right. Matt kept the ball and went up the sideline.
Okay, Matt's under the ball now. He takes it hands off to Scotty Gimkowski, who's through, and he's close to a 1st down out there. Right off guard, it looked like on that particular standard hand line plunge play, but it looked very effective. He's starting at a 3rd and about a 1.5 foot, I'd say.
And that brings it very close to midfield.
Well, what we have, too, commenting back on your passing, Matt Gentile was 2nd team all-conference as quarterback, showing a lot more confidence, and the man really is improved through the year. Now the handoff, up center, would be a 1st down. He was stopped about a yard and a half into that 1st down area, so Hand will be picking it up at just across midfield with a first down and heading for the 40.
Now, one of the things we said at the onset is one of the edges that Han has is a very strong offensive line. That time, the offensive line got off the ball, got a nice surge, and with a good, strong running of Scotty Gonkowski, that was enough to get the first down.
Okay, now we go, ready to play. Matt's under the center again. Man in motion, Kenny Wilson. Pass is coming out to Kenny, and he's got a receipt, and he's got a good 5-6 yards on that particular pass play.
That time it was a sprint out left. Ken came in motion from the opposite side of the field. Sean went deep to clear out the zone, and Kenny turned upfield on the sprint out pass, caught the ball. Nice pass by Matt, nice catch by Kenny, which picked up a good 8 yards.
Yeah, nice touch on that all the way around, it looked to me. All right, now, out of the huddle. Coming up to center is Matt Gentile. Making sure everybody's in position, showing some flankers, showing motion to the right. Sprinting out to the right with a quarterback option, but it looks like he's in trouble and he's going to be down for a loss of maybe 3 yards. A little bit of hesitation there, and the play didn't take shape quite fast enough, I don't think, on that, Jerry.
Well, what happened was the Indians were able to get some penetration on the corner. They weren't able to seal off the corner. One of the things you have to do to make that sprint out play successful is you've got to seal off the corner to allow the quarterback, Matt, to get around the corner and set up to throw the ball.
And there you go. Now we're ready to go. Third down and about 6. Matt under the ball. Takes it from Clark. Up the center goes Lynch for about maybe 3-4. Certainly not enough for the first down. He's going to be a couple yards shy of that. So even though we did receive a first down, it looks like a punting situation. So both teams somewhat stiff on defense, although Han did get something going. If it wasn't for that loss on the second down play, they probably would have had first down with the momentum. However, now it's punt time. And Ned Lynch is back to do the punting. We've got, looks like GN40 back there to receive, and it's a beautiful punt, going deep, going close, and he's going to be down about the 3-yard line maybe 4, something like that. So good deep kick towards the corner out there by Ned. Excellent punt. Got a good bounce. GN40 wasn't quite able to handle it cleanly, and then he fell on it to protect it.
Well, what we're seeing early on is Han winning the field position contest. So far, Guilford has not been able to operate close to midfield yet. Right now, they're backed up, and that really limits what you can do when you're backed up. Right now, they're on about the 5-yard line.
That's right. Although they have confidence in their quarterback, Toothaker, his passing hasn't been quite there this year. Okay, Nat Coles picked up the carry on that on a handoff. Came up center and picked up maybe 4 or 5 yards on that. So he's one of the heavy-duty runners out there. And pulling a little bit of breathing room, close to the 10-yard line. Well, right about at the 10-yard line, it looks like. So that on this beautiful day here in Guilford, Thanksgiving Day, looking to the southward at the field, Guilford comes out of the huddle, gets up to the ball, ready for the handoff, and again, nope, it's sent up the center with Bouvet, and it looks like a first down.
What that was, Frank, was a counter, and one of the things that Steve said from their last game against Stratford was that Han had to work very hard on fundamentals. They won the game, but they had very poor blocking and tackling. And one thing the Han defense cannot afford to do is make a lot of arm tackles and allow these backs to get in the secondary, because these backs have a lot of speed. If they can get one-on-one in the secondary, they can really burn you.
That's right, a lot of speed and a lot of experience now, too. They've all been playing for a long time and been working out. Toothaker is going out wide on an option, and he's handled quite handily out there. And it looks like he's going to be for a slight loss, and certainly not a gain on that.
Nice hit by Chris Torres. Chris Torres came from his inside-out linebacker position and sealed off the corner, not allowing the quarterback to get around the end. Great job by Chris. Nice hard hit by Chris Torres.
Yeah, he really kept his legs pumping as he went up and took that tackle on and forced him right out of bounds. Cutting on the inside of the blockers that were out there. It was a nice job, is right, Jerry. And now we've got it with second down and about 11 yards, short 11 yards to go. See what they come up with now, ready to go. Under the Toothaker's got it. He's passing, handing off. And it looks like GN40 just brings it right about to the original line of scrimmage, right about the 20-yard line as far as, is that the 20? Yeah, just about in this series.
And that'll bring up a 3rd and 9. They'll bring up a 39. Guilford doesn't do an awful lot of passing, but they do have a lot of things that they do with 3rd and long. They run a lot of reverses. They run a lot of screens. They run a lot of misdirection, so Hand has got to be ready for an awful lot defensively from what Guilford can do on a 3rd and long.
Yeah, on their toes. Hand has got to be on it. Okay, pass wide right, or a lateral out wide right. Hand's going to knock him down. Forced out of bounds about the 23-yard line, just short of the 25. So that should go to a 4th down now. It was good pursuit out there by Hand. Beautiful pursuit.
And that was a great job by Rob DeZima on the corner. He was the one that really made the play in the corner, not allowing that back on that toss right to get around the corner.
Absolutely. The blockers who were assigned to him he got inside those and was able to keep the running back going sideways instead of north and south. Okay, looking like a punt again. And it's going to be Gianforte again punting off. And we got, whoa. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought that was going to bounce backward and hit a Hand player on the back, which would have made a live ball. But unfortunately, it did not happen. It actually bounced into a Guilford player coming forward.
And Hand will take over the ball offensively in Guilford's territory. So again, Hand has had super field position. Now's the time for the offensive unit to turn that good field position into a score.
That's right. Defense has done its job, allowed 1 first down that particular series. Here, Hand goes. Sean Lynch coming to wide on this side, split. Kenny Wilson on the far side, but it's going up the middle with Chris Torres, and he makes a nice job. He's keeping on his feet out there. You know, somebody had him by the ankles, and he's going to pick up a nice about 8-yard run on that, maybe 6.
Good hard running by Chris. We talked about his running last week. He really hits the hole very fast, keeps his shoulders square to the hole. Good north and south power runner. One of the things we might see today, Frank, is a single back offensive formation. And is going to run and throw off of a single setback today.
All right. And off now is going to Scotty Gumkowski. He's making a sprint for the end, and, well, he's got a little bit of a gain out there. But it was a good close in by the linebackers out there for...
It was a great block by Justin Kingsley. They call it a pancake block. He put the end right on his butt, but the linebackers seem to be very active today, and the linebacker was able to scrape, come up in the hole, and make the play on Ned Lynch.
Okay, here we go again, ready to play. Ned, ball, off to Ned Lynch. Ned's not going to gain much off that. A couple of yards, trying to go up the center again, or just off center. Did not make much on that. The key on Ned, which of course would be the normal game plan for anybody handling Hand, when he's in there, didn't gain much.
We got a 4th down and 3.
Okay, Hand's going to be punting off again. Ned's back to do the kicking, and he's got, he's got Gianforte in the back. He's kicking too. He's kicking for the sideline again. It's going to number 38, who is Wickham. Wickham happens to be one of their backup quarterbacks out there. We haven't really seen him out there very much today, but they did put him out. And he did take the ball, headed for the sidelines, and it's going to be Guilford taking over on that exchange of punts, basically.
I think that was Chris Holt that made the initial contact, keeping him outside, and Justin Kingsley was the one that made the final hit that forced the back outside, out of bounds.
All right, from the 25, we'll be seeing Guilford try to make some momentum going this time. They do play a lot of varied offense here. This time it's coming a little bit to the right, our left. And it again is Coles, Matt Coles, picking up maybe 2.5, 3 yards. I'm coming close to the 4 the way he did the roll and they did the spot. So it's going to be probably 2nd and 5.
What that was a trap off right guard and right tackle. And they are starting to pick up a good 4 yards, 5 yards of crack. This is going to be a very emotional game. These two teams are very evenly matched, and Hand's defense has got to play with a lot of motion and shut down this Guilford offense early.
And they're going up the center and finally get some room and stuff they can do up there. Okay, well, we had a pretty good, going to be a first down or close to it, depending on the spot. Yep, they're moving the...
That was a good job by Tim Cunningham to come up and make the stick, but they really can't afford to be making a lot of tackles in the secondary today. These backs are very fast. If they get into the secondary, there's a good chance that they can make the big play work for them. Hand has got to be able to get some penetration up front on the defensive line and get those hits in the backfield.
Got to keep that close. There they come on the same side as far as that time. Coles coming up around to the right-hand side again, off tackle from their standpoint. Went nowhere in that particular one, so that was a good job on the left-hand side of the defense for Hand.
And that's exactly what the defensive line has got to do. They've got to shed the blocks. They've got to get some penetration and not allow those backs to be able to have some room and some movement to make their cuts and get in the secondary.
Absolutely. To dig in, standpoint on defense. Okay, ready to play. Toothaker under the ball. Again, he faked off that time. I watched the fake. It was a good one. But anyway, they're going to move it to be third down and about 5 yards to go. So Hand was able to fill the center that time on a very good fake by the quarterback.
What that was a counter. They show flow going one way and they come back the other way. The wing T has a tremendous amount of versatility from the standpoint of a lot of different looks. They'll show you trap, they'll show power, they'll show option, they'll show counter. They have about 3 different bootlegs. They run a lot of screens and reverses. There's a lot of things that they do offensively, which is very, very difficult from a defensive standpoint to alter your defensive alignment. So Hand will have to stay in a very basic defense so that they don't get burned by being out of defensive alignment.
Got to keep mentally very, very strong, too. They're going to have to be able to stay and thinking the flexibility that you're describing with that varied offense out there. Okay, we've just had the end of the quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, it's been a defensive battle all the way with a couple of possessions on both sides, a 3 and out on both sides, a couple of first downs for each side. So as they get ready to start the second period, we're going to see now Hand going from east to west on this particular field and getting set up on the 40-and-a-half-yard line with Guilford having the ball. And it'll be their third down and about 6 yards to go. So we are about ready to get underway. So far we've been seeing defense out there, Chair. Okay, ready to play, starting first play, second period. This Thanksgiving Day, Toothaker get ready to take the ball. Coles is in motion out there. Gonna sprint, he's looking for pass, going wide, and Coles misses the pass. So on the third down play, Chair, was incomplete.
And what they're doing is they're throwing to their motion man. Setback number 33 went in motion. What they want to do is get some misdirection and throw Hand's defensive secondary off. Hand's defense is playing a man-to-man with 3 deep. That time they picked up the motion man, had very good coverage.
Okay, Gianforni is back in about his 28-yard line for the punt. Good snap. He gets it off. This is a nice punt. Looking all the way down there, and the ball is fumbled, and it looks like it's going to be picked up by Guilford. Guilford recovered the fumbled punt, and they're going to get excellent field position about the 30-yard line here.
Well, these teams are very evenly matched today, as we said on the outset. One of the things that Hand has to do is play good, sound, fundamental football and not make mistakes. There's the first mistake of the game. That's as good as a long bomb, a long pass play. It gives Guilford the first opportunity to get into Hand's territory this morning.
Yeah, it really does. And so now they are down there in Hand territory, and they're at the 30-yard line, ready to go. Toothaker looking pass. Got a good rush on there by Hand. Matt Young. The pass is completed. Up there to Bouvet. Bouvet's going to have a first down. So on that first down pass play, even though there was some pressure coming on Toothaker, the quarterback, by Matt Young, who was very close to getting sacked, the pass was complete.
Yeah, that was excellent pressure by Matt. And what they were doing offensively at that time for Guilford is it was a slow developing route where they were getting the receiver in between the seam, in between the linebackers and the secondary, and he found an open slot.
Okay, with some momentum right now, Toothaker's looking to hand off to Matt Coles, and he is down with about a 5-yard gain out there, so there is the momentum rolling right now. Stiffening defense has to happen right now, I'd say, Jerry.
Well, what they're doing up front, Guilford, is they're running a lot of trap blocking and they're running a lot of counter. That time, Guilford had a good hole, and the back was able to hit the hole and pick up 5 yards. The Hand defense can't allow Guilford to continue to pick up 5 yards of crack on a first down situation.
Well, we hear a little tomahawk rock from the Indian fans over here in Fayetteville that Lynn just picked up on. And as the play takes place, it looks like Coles again going across the left side for maybe a couple-yard gain, but certainly not for the first down yet.
What Guilford did is they lined up in a power I right, and a power I right normally will carry the ball over the right-hand side of the line. They countered back to the left-hand side of the line with the fullback leading the power, with the tailback carrying the ball off guard to the left side of the line, and they were able to pick up another 4 yards.
All right, they're out of the huddle now, getting ready to continue what they can, see if Hand can stop them. Right up the center with it. It's going to be close for first down, I'd say. It was 3rd and about 2, and it looks like they got it. So it's going to be goal to go, it looks like to me out there. I think that was Bouvet that handled the ball that time.
So these games are always a very emotional setting for Thanksgiving Day mornings, and Guilford has about a dozen seniors. They're all playing with emotion, and that emotion is going to carry them through in this first half.
This is the best year that certainly Guilford football has had in many, many years. And Hand has really got to keep their emotions high to be able to counter that, as a matter of fact.
That was a nice stop by Justin Kingsley that time. The seniors at Hand, there's only about 6 seniors from Hand. Hand needs not only great emotional play, good sound fundamentals by the seniors, but because you don't have very many seniors, they also need some good play by the underclassmen. The underclassmen have really got to help the seniors out this morning and play with real emotion.
Absolutely. Now we're ready to play again. 2nd down and about 8 to the touchdown. No, that was Coles with the ball. But the ball breaks loose. Now they're going to call it down. It looks like to me the way the referee's signal is going to call it down on contact.
That was a great job by Rob DeSima closing down from his end position. The ball was running off tackle. Rob closed it down so that there wasn't any room to run. And Hand also had some pursuit from the inside out, and there was really nowhere to go.
Absolutely, that was real good, tough defense on Hand's part. So now it's going to be 3rd down and again about 8 for the touchdown. Okay, Guilford ready to go under the center, looking pass, long to the corner, and it's batted away. Nice, beautiful bat away by, is that Timmy Cunningham, I think?
Yes, it was, and what that was a fade play. It's a timing pattern where the quarterback throws the ball with touch in the corner of the end zone, but the ball was there a little bit late, and both the defender and the offensive end were just waiting there, so it was easy for the defender to be able to tap the ball away.
Well, the quarterback really kind of, they're going to try a field goal. So Toothaker, who has done some field goals this year and has a couple already.
They do have a good kicking game.
Yep, here they go, getting ready to kick, and it looks good. They're calling it good. It was a very, very low trajectory on that kick, but it had plenty of velocity on it to carry it through in good shape.
Well, I would say that's a moral victory for Hand to allow Guilford to get inside the 10-yard line and have the defense bend but not break and not allow 7 points. They only gave up 3 points, and I think that's a very positive situation for Hand now to come back only being down by 3 versus what they could have been down by 7.
I absolutely agree with you on that one. Like you say, they bent, they didn't quite break. 3 points certainly is better to give up than 7 or 6 for that matter. And Hand has got to just have to take it and say, okay, hunker down and let's get emotionally fired up on offense. It looked like they're going to have that emotion the first series, and now they've got to really break it in. All right, so as we get ready for this cook-off with the score, Guilford 3, Hand nothing, the wind is coming very, very, well, quite strongly. The flags are right straight out, but it's off the sound from the south. So the wind is really going across the field for anything in a way where it affects the kicking game or the passing game. But it is strong and it can have some effect on it. So let's see what Greg Toothaker is going to try to do with this ball. He's kicking back to Grimkowski on the right, and you've got Nettie Lynch on the left. As far as deep, the kick is going, and it's not very deep. It's going to bounce, and Hand is letting it bounce, but Ned picks it up. He's not going to be able to go anywhere with it. About the 18-yard line maybe is where they'll, well, it depends on where they do spot as forward progress. I make it at the 18. Could be a little bit higher than that. Okay, well, the Hand players kind of bounced that around waiting for somebody to pick it up, whereas the secondary receivers back there I kind of thought might have been able to pick it up and save a few yards on it, but apparently not part of the game plan or the instructions. So Pete Clark over the ball, getting ready to hand it back to Matt Gentile. Matt takes, gets ready, everybody's set, handing it off to Nettie Lynch trying to go wide. He's got a little bit of room. Okay, Nettie, about the 8-yard gain on that, I'd say. showing some awful good, again, mature running on that, I thought. Playing off of blockers, not going full speed into the line, leaving something to have a little kick to get around.
Power dive off tackle, and the hole really was kind of closed up, and Ned was able to bounce it outside and pick up about 7 yards. Good job by Ned Lynch.
All right, hand with the ball, hand off. To Scotty Gumkowski making it wide, trying to build on a slippery field. He's got it wide. He may, if he can tightrope. Oh, the referee is blowing him down at about the 28-yard line. Just barely trying to tighten rope down the sideline on it. Wonderful, great run coming all the way across the field.
Great blocking up front. Nice cutback by Scott Gumkowski, cutting back to the outside. Showed some good speed to get down into the secondary. Just went out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. And that's what the Hands offense needed to come back after Guilford come down the field scoring 3 points.
Well, it was Scotty, after he got by the 45-hand-yard line, it was Scotty against the student body of Guilford from that standpoint. Okay, Nettie with the ball, up to about the 18, 19-yard line.
Super job of blocking on the right. That was a toss right where Justin Kingsley kicked out the end. John McHenry led up the hole, hit the linebacker, knocked him outside, knocked him right on his back. Ned fouled the blocking for a good 8 yards.
Okay, excellent. Some momentum now in Handstand in front of their own fans where they can pick up the momentum off the excitement of the fans. Okay, Clark ready to hand it back. Okay, Ned. No, there to go. Chris Torres moving out the center. Gonna go in. And he does. How about that? One of Chris Torres. Breaks it up. He must be wearing grease or something today.
Hands offense got cranked up on the line. What we talked about earlier was one of the edges that Hand has is a real strong, mature offensive line. And on that series, Hand's offensive line was blowing people out. The backs were running real hard, hit the holes hard. That time, Chris does what he does best, running north and south, hit the hole real hard, right in for the score. Good job because he was hit. He was hit before he made the touchdown. Was able to spin off to gain that extra yardage to make the touchdown.
Absolutely, and the point after is good. So now we have a score of Hand 7, Guilford 3. Very exciting series of plays on that because Hand really cranked, as you say, the offense up. Got some excellent movement out of those athletes in the front of the line. Again, Chris is up the center. He had a hole the size of a trailer truck could have moved through that thing, I think. Once he got through, he picked his way through the linebackers, dodged, as you say, from right to left, and went in.
And that's really what Hand needed because Guilford got a break. They came down the field, they scored. And what Hand did is they answered by saying right in your face and went right down the field and scored themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, there we go. It's the vagaries of any sport when all of a sudden you can turn the tide on the people and see if you can work that momentum. Okay, I'm feeling that wind again. We just mentioned the wind on this beautiful day, Thanksgiving Day here in Guilford. Quite different than 2 years ago when on Thanksgiving Day the game had to be postponed because of about a foot of snow on the ground. And it was put off to Saturday and there was a lot of snow around, but a great opportunity for all these young players out here to just have that fun and that feel of playing Thanksgiving Day. Sean Lynch on the kick. Gets it up in the air. It's a little bit short, but it's... we get some sort of whistles. Must be an offside by the look of it. Probably somebody get a little over-exuberant out there, I'd say.
So we've got about 6 minutes left in the half. Hand is up by a score of 7-3. What Hand's defense has to do is play with a lot of emotion, play with good, solid fundamentals, and not allow the big play by Guilford. Guilford has the potential of making the big play, and they can make the big play off of some mistakes by Hand. Hand's got to play good, solid football and not get carried away on defense and not get out of position.
Yeah, and here we go. I'm sure that Sean probably is glad to have that chance to kick over, even though they lose 5 yards. Because it wasn't the best of his kicks that he can do. Now he gets a chance to really boom it down there. Okay, Sean. Sean does kick it, and this time he makes up for the 5 yards plus another 10. And Coles with the ball brings it up to about the 40-yard line. They were looking to set a wedge up in the center on that thing. Coles did take his time and patience to let it set up, but Hand was able to keep it and collapse it.
And he had very excellent acceleration as soon as he hit that hole in the middle wedge.
I mean, I don't know if I've seen many young men with that sort of acceleration that he showed in that particular play. You know, we have a player down, Guilford player is down on the field, and they're bringing out the trainers to take a look at him. Back to play after the kickoff, and injured players off the field. Nothing serious. And is able to, well, not quite stop the center. They were able to pick up a couple yards in that handoff, coming up the center again, and that was, looked like Bouvet handling that particular ball. They are showing 3 good backs out there getting a chance to run the ball. Primarily it's Coles, but Bouvet picks it up quite a bit out there, and then Gianforte we see every now and then.
And that was Peter Clark on the stop. Peter is a junior and has been doing a super job all year long, and he's getting better and better, and he's going to be a real solid player next year.
Okay, handoff up front. Going to be this one's to Bouvet, and he makes the first down on that. He picked his way up through that, through the blockers and tacklers on that one as well. Moving the chains up for a first down. Hand players down on the field with some sort of injury, whatever it may be. Out comes the coach and the trainer, Bev Volpo. And, that looks like it's Matt Gentile. If that's Matt Gentile, that's going to cause for the second backup quarterback to come in. Okay, that was Matt Gentile who picked up, it looked like a helmet in the belly to me.
As you know, Matt's the quarterback. Hand does not have a lot of depth from the standpoint of having backups, and Matt just loves defense.
He does.
He loves to come up and put the hit on, which I'm sure makes the coaches a little uncomfortable because you lose Matt on offense, and that's going to really impact your offense. But I think he was just shaken up a little bit, and I think he'll be back in a couple of
too. And since it is defense, that it's not as if they were turning the ball over and had to bring in the backup quarterback right now is Ned Lynch, because Scott Hevesy was injured with a broken shoulder very early in the season. So that is a point of concern, but what a tremendous stop out there by Hand on that particular series. That looked like Joel Donnelly primarily had a hold on the... he stuffed that thing right tight.
Now that's fundamental football. He was in a good football position, made the stick, focusing his eyes on the numbers, wrapped him up and pushed him right back. Excellent fundamental football on the tackle that time.
Yeah, that's right. That's one for the training films right there. Shows you, put it in, you take anyone down, basically. Okay, Toothaker fakes in a pass situation on second down. Pass is wide, and going up to Gianforte was wide open. Nobody on him. A little breakdown in defensive posture of Hand. But he had a nice big gain on that from their standpoint to about the 22, 23-yard line. Wide open and an excellent pass by Toothaker. So Toothaker was being faced again by Hand, but the out in the secondary area out there, Hand was not able to keep on top of Gianforte.
Well, they've been successful on the ground, and when you're successful on the ground, that will tend to open it up in the secondary. Shows what balance when that Gianforte comes right back to carry the ball. On a handoff. Well, that is also a little tricky, too. You know, normally, as a defensive player, going to think, well, they'll give him a break for a second after that run, but did not happen. All right. Now, some momentum now is back in the Guilford Indians' hands. As again, we hear the Tomahawk Rock being picked up from the Atlanta Braves out here. I hope it wasn't patented or trademarked. Okay, up center. On the handoff, with another good plunge. First hits out there were Chris Torres, but he got blocked soundly off the ball. And that particular time, it was Bouvet handling it. And that's good enough for a first down, Frank. First down again, and it's basically first and virtually goal to goal out there. But so Guilford is moving. They have a very balanced offensive attack, a very deceptive attack, a lot of counter, a lot of sweep, throwing in some passes, and they're moving the ball. Hand's defense has got to dig in, get some penetration, and stop that movement. Now, this is the dig-in point, and they can make a first down before the touchdown. And he's got Gianforte going up through again, and he had a big hole opened up for him again out there, so the blockers are doing a good job from Guilford's standpoint. They picked up maybe 5 yards. What they're running is trap blocking up front, and they're taking the offside back, and he's slashing across the center, and that play has been picking up at least 5 yards of crack. Yes, it has. Yes, it has been very, very effective for him, and they'll take 5 yards of crack anytime they can get it going up that way. Okay, we're setting back. Again, Bouvet set back Gianforte. He's going up the center. And nice dive through tackle out there by Connolly. Chris Connolly came in off of that from his inside guard position, if you will. So third down and about 3 for the first, although they can make a first out there before the
I think they're probably in at first at the about 2-yard line, so they have a little room to still get in there without having to pressure into the touchdown.
And tighten up the last time they were there. Looks like they're starting to tighten up again now. And what they've got to do is tighten up and keep Guilford from scoring.
Guilford spreading wide, looking pass, coming to Coles on his side. And Kenny Wilson. I will say on that, the toothacher on both this pass to Coles and the other pass that was broken up by Kenny, he telegraphed that all the way.
Would you say you got toothache?
Toothache, I say he got a toothache.
What that was a timing pattern with touch on the ball, and it allowed Kenny some time to get over there and make the play because the receiver was open. He was open in the corner, but the ball had enough touch on it and was slow enough getting there to allow Ken to come in and get a hand on the ball.
Yeah, Kenny's a good tall boy, over 6 feet tall, so he had a little extra arm stretch on that and did what he had to do. They haven't changed the yard mark yet. Shouldn't it be 4th down? I'm trying to figure... Huh? Discussing a penalty. I didn't see... Well, maybe we're too intent on seeing the... Oh, it's going to be against hand, maybe?
Yeah. And that would be half the distance to the goal line.
That's what it is.
Which brings up a 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches. Yeah, they not only get the yardage, but they get the down to play. Okay, that was a tough break for hand, whatever the penalty happened to be.
That's exactly right, because it would have been 4th down and would have forced another field goal try.
That's right, and I'm sure that's what they would have done because they have been successful with it. Okay, they're going to try, I bet, right up the center like they've been doing. Got Bouvet back, and he's going up the center, and he's going to have the first down by line surge on that, I'd say. And it should be 1st and goal with a foot or two. That's right. All right, this is a real part of the learning curve right here. What do you do when it's going to be this close? Maybe they can force a fumble or some sort of a turnover.
Defense has to force a big play now. They've got to get some penetration. They've got to slant. They've got to do something to make the hit in the backfield. Right now, it's
got to take a chance.
It's right on the 1-foot-yard line.
Well, they can slow him down. No, they're giving it to him. They're giving it to him. What happened is Toothaker actually took the ball in quarterback sneak, but instead of going under, he stretched up over and actually put the ball over the goal line himself, is what you'll see. He just put it breaking the plane, and they gave him a touchdown on it. Good play by Toothaker. The line held. It really didn't have it off a surge. Hand's defense held the line, but Toothaker did the next right thing and just held the ball over the line, broke the plane. So that's going to move him before this point after attempt. Hey, Guilford is taking the lead again. And it's not a bad snap. And they've got him down, so they don't make it. So it's 9-7. Guilford just taking the lead.
And that was a great job by Joel Donnelly playing heads up on that poor snap, not allowing the runner to get outside.
That's right, because when you look at it now, if it comes right down to the end of the game and Hand has a chance, Sean Lynch has also kicked field goals this year.
That's right.
And right now the score is showing 9-7, and a field goal could win this ball game.
And there's still time left in this first half. There's 1:47. Hand's going to receive the ball, and Hand's capable of doing a lot of things on a specialty team basis as well as offensively.
That's right. Hand has shown touchdowns, shown big runs on kickoff returns this year already. They bring it down in reasonable distance, and they're going to have a shot at it with 1:47 left on the half. But it's been a good ball game on the defensive side. Hand will have to come out after the half and try to take that momentum and take that confidence away from Guilford that they're building. Okay, getting ready for the kickoff out here. Again, with 1:47 left in this first half of the Thanksgiving Day game in Guilford. Toothaker getting back. Greg Toothaker is their kicker kicker here. We've got Ned Lynch back, Scotty Gumkowski. We had Timmy Cunningham. And here's the ring. Greg DeConcilius, Chris Torres, all back, looking for the ball to come down. It's going deep. Ned's going to pick it up, and he does. He's looking for a place, a few blockers. Bring it up to Scotty. He does. He's got Toothaker to beat. He's looking to dodge him. He takes him on head on. And another big play by Ned Lynch, bringing the ball all the way down down to the 35-yard line. Toothaker set up beautifully with a good square set, and Ned wasn't quite able to get around him. He just couldn't give him the dodge bump and weave. Took him on straight on, and I'm sure Greg felt that thing, but...
And we've seen the receiving teams this year do an awful lot of good things. That time, as soon as Ned took the ball and cut left, you could see the hole open up, cut back outside, and with his speed, he was able to get past the first wave. And you're right, Toothaker was the only thing between him and the goal line.
You know, when I was seeing that set up, I was thinking if it was anybody but Toothaker, it was a touchdown. When I saw the number 12 flash there, I said, this kid's a good athlete. And if anybody's going to bring him down, they'll bring him down not by speed, but by playing it smart. And that's nothing else Ned could do. He didn't have enough field to the right to make it happen.
Now, there's a minute 35 left with only 35 yards between them and the score.
That's right.
And that's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Han can bring it down. Let's see. And we do have Max back out there now. So the injury he suffered a few plays ago. Again, we just thought he was probably knocking the wind out of him, and that's what it looks like.
And I don't believe that we see any timeouts on the part of Han, so Han has a lot of flexibility. They don't have to keep the ball in the air the whole time.
Right.
They've got 3 timeouts left. They can mix, pass, and run.
Okay, Sean's gone wide left. Sean Lynch out there was first team, first conference receiver. And we got a nice run out there by Ned Lynch, and boy, he did a nice job going out of bounds.
That's exactly right. He gets out of bounds at about the 24-yard line, stops the clock with about a minute 28, and they're moving the ball.
Another first down out there for Han. That's great. Again, very, very smart heads-up play by Ned. Okay, Pete Clark gets over the ball from a center position. Matt Gentile getting ready. Sean Lynch, as I was saying, first team conference split end. Wide. Play doesn't go his way. It's Ned Lynch again out the center. Takes maybe 2-3 yards, and I'm sure they'll take a timeout.
And that was the same play. What they did is they ran cross right twice, back to back. The first time it picked up a little more yards. The second time, I think Guilford is picking up a little bit on the movement of the toss play.
Han did not take a timeout like we thought they might take, so they ran about 10-15 seconds off. And we've got a whistle down coming from this side, make a holding play, holding penalty of some sort.
I think it's going to be illegal procedure. It was a very quick snap, and I don't think everybody was set for a full count.
That could be. That could be.
And it was a quick snap because they didn't take the timeout, as you said, Frank.
Okay, we're at 59 seconds in this half. And now on the 26, 27-yard line of Guilford, Han is trying to get their way in and be able to head right into the locker room with the clock is moving. It's 48 seconds. Gentile under the ball, picks it up right now. It's going, passes off, and it goes nowhere. Actually, a loss on the play. Kenny Wilson.
And what that was kind of a reverse where they had Flo going one way, and Kenny came from his slot position back with kind of an end around. But Guilford made some penetration, and when the defense makes penetration on an end around, because it's so slow in developing, it's going to be stopped in the backfield, and that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Now the clock is stopped with a timeout. I'd love to see him bring it in. Okay, here we go, ready to play. Han's got the ball with 38 seconds left, and more third down, looking long.
It looks like a screen.
And it is basically to Ned Lynch. He's not going anywhere with it, unfortunately. It'll be fourth down and a long 10 yards anyway, maybe 12, 14.
As soon as I saw that deep drop by Matt Gentile and released by the line, I knew it was a screen, and there was only one defender between Ned and the goal line. So they made a great play defensively for Guilford. Otherwise, I think Ned would have boogied all the way down the sideline.
Yeah, he had a good shot of it. Like I said, there was one defender, and everybody else was going to have to catch up to Ned, which is something that not many people in this league can do. So with 23 seconds left, Han's got a fourth down and a good 14 yards to go. What they're going to try to pull off, I don't know. I would try the field goal. I think I really would.
Well, with the wind blowing across the field,
well, they are
going for the field goal, but they've got a lot of distance. Sean has a great leg.
He has a great leg. He needs a little help from the wind to stop is what he needs. Flag is right straight out. They're on the right side of the field, meaning on the left, to kick it so that the wind will drift it back in. He's got it up, and it's going to be just shy. The wind did affect that a bit, it looked like, and it went just shy and a little bit short. He needed another 5 or 6 yards on that thing.
Well, I would anticipate Guilford just running the ball into the line, run out the 17 seconds to go in at halftime with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, that certainly seems like what they should do. They can feel good about themselves the way they played this game so far, taking advantage of a couple of hand breaks, which one was the fumble on the kickoff that Hand had, and then he also had a couple of penalties that caused a tight situation on the goal line, and also in this series of offensive plays that affected Hand. Okay, you're right up the center, taking it very slow, and that should run the clock out if nobody calls a timeout.
Well, what we have seen today, Frank, is two teams that are matched very evenly. A couple of mistakes, a couple of breakdowns fundamentally, but all in all, these teams are very evenly matched. The score is indicative of that match. At halftime, Hand goes in 2 points down. Nothing to hang their heads down about. They can come back and take this game right away from them.
That's right. It's not tied, but it's virtually tied, if you want to look at it that way. I don't know what the stats would really show on this, but it has been a great ball game. We all anticipated as such. One of the best years that Guilford has had in their football program for a long time, and they've been gaining strength down in their recreation league areas. Also, we've got Hand out there waiting so that they have to take advantage of a field that they don't know that well. So that's one of those little things that can make a little difference on you. And you're right, into the locker room they go. The sun is shining fresh, so we're not going to freeze like you sometimes anticipate.
Speak for yourself.
Well, that's, you know, what the heck, I grew up in Maine, so I'm used to this stuff.
Back to the second half of today's Thanksgiving contest between Daniel Hand Tigers and the Guilford Indians. Hand will be receiving the ball with the kickoff in the second half, and I'm sure at halftime the seniors have discussed the fact that there is no tomorrow for these seniors, Frank. This is their last game for Daniel Hand High. Their record is 6-4. There's a big difference between 6-5 and 7-4. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of enthusiasm in the second half, and hopefully fewer mistakes in the second half, Frank.
We certainly hope that. Now we're ready for Toothaker on the kickoff, and it looks like it's been taken back there by Timmy Cunningham. And he sheds a blocker very early on in his run, makes another 5 yards or so, and he's up to about the 28, 29-yard line out there. Okay, he slanted across field pretty well, looking to pick out a place where he could dive and come upfield further. Did shed a blocker nicely out there, and Timmy did all right by that one. I hope he feels good about himself with it. So Hand is going to now take the ball over to about the 28-yard line, let's call it. And we got Matt coming up by Pete Clark, getting ready to handle the ball. We got a one-back set out there, and that's Chris Dura, as it looked to me, but he goes nowhere.
Well, the Indians are pumped up. Hand has met Guilford 18 times. Guilford has only beaten Hand once, I think that was 4 years ago, and the seniors of that class in 1987 haven't heard the last of that game.
No, they haven't.
The last thing the Hand wants to do is lose to Guilford, and the number one thing Guilford wants to do is knock off Hand, because Hand is steeped in tradition. They're a winning tradition, and that would be a big boost for Guilford to knock Hand off today.
Absolutely, and that would give them a tying season. And trying a nice long pass up there by Gentile, a little bit leading out on Ned Lynch, too far, but there is a flag down on the play from behind the line of scrimmage, so it probably will go against Hand, I would say.
It was a great job by Ned to get open. Ned was wide open. You're right, the ball was a little bit led, still catchable, but difficult at best to catch.
Yeah, coming across the field that way, changed the direction basically on Ned's part. He was open. So had some good signs, even though not complete. You got to look at the positive side of it.
And Rob DeZima comes in to replace Greg DeConcilius.
Second down to 19, there was a holding.
Okay, holding penalty on Hand, so that drops it back 10 more yards. So Hand's got a second and 20.
Which puts an awful lot of pressure on the offense.
A lot of pressure. Going to pass right off the bat. A lot of pressure, and Gentile, and he's sacked. He is thrown for a sack for another 5 or 6 yards.
Well, the rule of thumb on a drop-back pass is you've got to release the ball within 3 seconds. That time, Matt was back because there was good coverage and there was no one open for, I would say, better than 4 seconds, which allowed that defensive line to get some penetration.
Absolutely, yeah. No, the receivers had territory they could have gone to, but apparently the pass runners weren't taking them out in an open area, and it just didn't develop fast enough for Hand. So now, third down and half the field to go, basically, for first down. So now trying a run, and that's thrown for basically making the line of scrimmage, I'd say maybe a yard or 2. So fourth down, his Hand's going to punt from deep within Hand's territory.
And that's going to give the Indians some excellent field position. The Indians came out, and because of a mistake and because of some good defensive play, they backed Hand up, and that's going to really give the offensive unit of Guilford a real boost, getting the ball at midfield.
Oh, absolutely. They might even be able to bring it in well inside Hand territory. And it is. It's a nice high kick coming down about the 45, and it's bobbled. It's bobbled. Okay, and it bounces back with control going out of bounds for Guilford right about midfield, 50-yard line. So the bobbling had a hand in helping out the Tigers a little bit, if you will. And Guilford will have that good field position that we didn't really want to see them have.
That's right. Fortunately, that was about a 40-yard punt, which kept Guilford from getting any better field position.
No, I think we can probably credit the wind to having a little help on that. Ned got it way up in the air, and the wind blew it over to this sideline. Okay, line plunge by Guilford, maybe 2-3-yard gain, and it was Matt Coles on the run with that, the leading rusher, if you will, for Guilford. So it's going to be second down and about 6 yards to go.
That was just a dive between guard and tackle. John McHenry was able to come into the hole, make the stop behind the line of scrimmage, but wasn't able to wrap him up. Consequently, he made a couple yards.
Okay, Coles again with the ball going wide to the right, and he's brought down with maybe another 2 or 3 yard gain on that, but nonetheless brought down. McHenry is in on that, and a host of other Hand players. Looks like Rob DeZima was in on that too.
What that was what I call a J block. The fullback kicked out the end. They double teamed, creating a seam on the corner, and the back cut in off the double team block and the kick out of the end to pick up about 4 yards.
And they did that. So third down and about 4 to go now, with Guilford heading up to the line. The center, DeCaesar, is under the ball. He's got it. He hands off to Toothaker. Toothaker passes again to Coles, taking his third carry of the third play of this half. Close to a first down. We'll see if he got enough momentum, and I think he might have to carry it in. Why did the referee signal?
What that was kind of a scissors play off tackle. That was the wing back. They showed a flow going in one direction by the halfback and came back in the other direction with the wing back. This wing tee set of Guilford shows you an awful lot of looks and a lot of misdirection.
Well, and you have it now. 3 plays so far this half for Guilford, and they gave it to Matt Coles all 3 times. It's fourth down and a little less than a yard, and they're going for it. And with the way momentum they've been having, and they do get it. That is nothing fancy, nothing special, just a little bit off our left tackle, it looked like. And the hand was looking for it to come right up the center. So it left enough room out there for the running back to make the first down.
And on the corner, Hand's defense lost their feet, and the fullback was just able to go over the top.
Yes, he was. So here we come again. Now this will be the fifth play basically for Guilford in this series. First down, 10 to go from about the 40-yard line. There's a flag down from behind the offensive team, which may give Hand a little motion. Going to be a little break for Hand on that.
And it is a big break, but you know, Hand is still allowing 5 yards a crack. That time they were able to pick up 5 yards again.
Yeah, regardless of the what you see from the penalty, you can't rely on penalties to save your tail on something like that.
Defensively, Hand has got to get charged up. They've got to get some penetration and stop the ball in the backfield.
15, just inside the Tigers' 45-yard line.
Okay, first down again. Coming up.
Now this could be the break, Frank, that Hand needs to make something happen right now.
Okay, Toothaker takes the ball. He's passing wide, almost the lateral, really. Out the Carl's wide on this side, and he is tackled down handily
by Ken Wilson.
Kenny Wilson, nice job on following up on that. That is the kind of play that if it can be very effective. And of course,
it's designed to get the ball outside real fast, thrown out in the backfield to the wing back, and if Hand's defense doesn't react fast to that play, there's a lot of territory that back can gain.
All right, okay, next play, run, Toothaker calls the signals, hands it off to, again, Cole's coming up the center. He's almost knocked down well behind the line of scrimmage by Matt Young on that, but just really able to scribble through and get a yard and a half penetration.
Well, this is what Hand's defense has to do. They've got to shut down the Guilford offense, who's juiced up over the good, solid defensive play that they came off of Hand's offensive series. They've got to shut them down, get the ball back, and start gaining some yardage.
Absolutely. Third down and 10-plus yards for that first. Toothaker's looking back, looking past, and he's got it up, and it's complete to Matt Cole. Dangerous man to have out there running the ball, and he does. And he's out of bounds from about the 10-yard line down there.
Well, the bootleg is designed to show flow one way and have the quarterback come back the other way. And what they had was a crossing pattern with number 33 coming across the grain. Nice pass and nice reception by a fast back.
Absolutely. That young man really can get out there. He had good hands, showed good hands on that. And also, I wanted to hand it to Toothaker, the quarterback, because he was able to get away a good, accurate pass, and he was being pressured by Rob Zimmer out there. So he did a nice, outstanding job on his end of the play, too. All right, up the middle with Coles. And he's knocked down right about the line of scrimmage. Probably not much gain on that. Fractional yard, something of that nature. It'll be second down and maybe 9.
That was a counter with a reverse pivot by the quarterback where they sent the back from the right going over to the left and the back from the left going over to the right. And that was the back that took the handoff, and Hand's defense did a nice job of plugging up the hole.
Okay, here we are. There you go. Pressure by Guilford on Hand from about the 10-yard line. Handoff going wide now. This is Gene Forty coming wide. And he does a shake and bake, and Timmy Cunningham doesn't buy it. Down he goes. So
what is a shake and bake, Frank?
Shake and bake is what we just saw. Now, if we could rerun the instant replay on that, I'd be able to describe it with my magic pencil here. A little shake and bake by Timmy Cunningham, and down he goes. It's where the eye teeth actually get shaken up on the tackle a little bit. All right, now, looking down the line, third down, 10 yards to go from the 10. Toothaker looking pass, looking crossing pattern. Kenny Wilson in the way of it again, and knocks it down. Again, it really looked like Toothaker telegraphed that play. If you were playing back there, nice positioning on Ken Wilson's standpoint. Saw the man coming towards him and across in front of him and staying his position, was able to knock it down. Fourth down. Looks like they're going to set up for another field goal here for Guilford. See, looks like Toothaker setting the... Yeah, Toothaker's getting down to set the ball up. He's got to be kicking in and across the wind. from this angle. And they do. They set it. They go with it. And it's a strong kick. And he's got it. Wow, let me tell you, those flags are right straight out. And he had to kick into and across that wind.
That's right. And the sidewinder has a tendency to pull it this way.
Yep. Excellent job by that young man. So that gives Guilford in field goals, two field goals this game for 6 points, plus their touchdown and their missed extra point. So it's 12-7, Guilford's favor right now.
But you know, because of that mixed extra point, all Han has to do is cross the goal line, and 6 points puts him out in front.
Absolutely. So it's the Han players have got to keep up, got to keep pumped, got to keep that adrenaline
That's
flying.
exactly right.
And they're going to have an opportunity right now. The kick again, Toothache will be kicking that ball. Everybody getting ready out there in the backs. Gumkowski, Cunningham, DeZima. And, okay, Nettie Lynch. He just turned around, saw what he has back there for the primary and secondary receivers on next kickoff.
Guilford has kind of a unique formation for the kickoff, Frank. I've never seen anything like it. I think they do that purposely because normally on the line you have a number picked out to block.
Yeah. Okay, the kick is up. It's going back and taken by Ned Lynch. And he just drives himself forward. He's got a host of tacklers on him. And they get a little bit of extra roughness on that play, I'd say. 25-yard line is about where the spot will be for Han to take over.
Well, that's okay. It's a rough game. Ned can take it.
Ned can indeed take it. He loves it. You can tell that. He went all the way across the field to pick that up, grab the ball, and just to head right into a pack of wolves out there.
This is a big series, Frank. This is a series that Han has got to move the ball. They don't necessarily have to score in this series, but they've got to show that their offense is capable of moving the ball.
That's right. Controlling that line, getting the blocks, getting the momentum going back that they need. The flag down again is going to be motion probably on hand if history is our guide here. So that's going to set them back with 1st and 15.
And that's really what happened on the first series of the second half with some mistakes, a couple of penalties, and the ball was going in the wrong direction.
That's right. When you're on offense, you're supposed to move forward, not backwards. All right, let's see what they're going to come out with this time. That was a handoff to Ned Lynch in the backfield. He ran play. Okay, we've got Torres back, and we've got Gumkowski back. Motion is Wilson. And Ned, okay, Shimpo's got the ball. He's passing way deep, way out of bounds. Very, very deep fly pattern coming down here for Sean Lynch. Now, only second down and the 15. That was good coverage on Guilford's standpoint, it looked like, too. I was a little worried that ball might have been up for grabs, but it was deep enough to be out of bounds. Okay, the music cranks up, trying to encourage the Han faithful here. No, the motion is Wilson again almost moved forward, which he may have done. I don't know. I saw Kenny start to move forward, but I don't think they picked up on him or someone else. But the ball again is going to go in the wrong direction for Han's offense. I would say we're going to end up with a 2nd and 20 here. Speculation on my part, haven't seen a signal as such. Although the referees are talking to the defensive players.
Well, this is shades of the first series offensively for Han, plagued by penalties and miscues, and cannot afford to continue to make the mistakes that they're making. They've got to settle down, and they're not down by a lot. They're only down by 5 points, and I think sometimes you start self-destructing in an emotional game when you get behind. Han is not behind by an awful lot, and all they have to do is settle down, do what they do best, and do what they do well, and they'll march the ball down the field.
Well, whatever that was, it's going to be 3rd and 15 for Han, whatever they call that. Anyway, yes, you're right. Han has to keep your emotions one play at a time. Don't look at the scoreboard. There's plenty of time left. Don't look at it. Going past, looking long, looking deep. Then open. In his hands.
That was a beautiful, beautiful play. Ned did a great job of getting open, Matt did a super job of sitting back there, being patient, allowing the pattern to run its full pattern right off the fingertips of Ned Lynch.
That is something you just didn't expect to see.
And that was 6 points.
That was 6 points all the way.
6 points,
all the way.
over it.
Yes, whoever was back, I can't remember, the number 38 was back on Ned at the point, but he was far enough away that Ned catching the ball would have been able to sprint right past him. Okay, punt by Ned this time. Bouncing on the 40, and it goes out of bounds about the Guilford 38
And you know that's a very effective punt because it doesn't allow a run back. It goes out of bounds in Guilford's territory inside the 40.
Yeah, and he was aiming it that way all the way. He's getting very effective with his punting, too. So for a young athlete like Ned Lynch, that shows a lot of flexibility in his future career if he chooses to stay with football or any other sport. But, yeah, unfortunate series out there. And I do want to hand it to Matt Gentile again on that pass because he was starting to get pressured. The line did hold up to give him the time, but he kept his calm and got it out there. Okay, two-thing on the ball. Being chased by Clark. Ball is right up. Almost intercepted. Almost intercepted.
Great pressure by Peter Clark, which forced the quarterback to release it a little sooner than he would have liked to, and almost intercepted by Cunningham, who made a nice break on the ball, good concentration, just couldn't quite make it there.
Very, very good. That's okay. That's defense Hand needs to have. Pressure the quarterback. Don't let him sit back there and have his time to really look the field over and get his view. Moving up. All right. DeSaces on the ball. Passes back to Toothaker. The ball goes to Bouvet. Okay, about a 3-yard line gain on that. So it'll be third down, and let's take it 7, I'd say.
It looks like Han is trying to make some things happen on defense, Frank. That time, John McHenry was shooting the gap, which really is one of the reasons why the back was able to gain 3 yards. If he didn't shoot the gap, he would have been free to been able to scrape over and make the hit.
Okay, good. That's something I'd love to see Han do more of myself, is a lot more aggressive defense, at least with one of the linebackers. We have good athletes. Okay, looking again, coming around wide. Ball's up in the air, too much room, but it's behind Coles. So, fourth down now. Good.
And I think the quarterback saw some more pressure again. That time Chris Doris was in the gap on a blitz. So what Han's trying to do is take some chances, blitzing the linebackers and put some pressure on Guilford in the backfield.
And that was effective because now it's fourth down, and being ahead, they're not going to take any chances. They will punt it away, relying on their defense of Guilford to try to get it back for them. But the wind is blowing very strong right now. Let's see what happens out here with Gianfoni kicks it deep, goes back to Timmy Cunningham. He's got the ball and he runs it forward for about 5-yard run back on that. Hand will be taking over in about the 34-yard line, which is reasonably good field position.
Tim's got to be careful. It almost looked like he was signaling for a fair catch when he was putting his arm up just prior to the ball arriving. And that would be a penalty if the ref had felt that he did receive a signal of fair catch and start running with it.
Yeah, I thought when I saw his hand going up too, I thought, is he shielding his eyes or is he fair catching it?
And that's a judgment call.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, hand, ball. Pass off, Torres up the center. Probably gains maybe 2-3 yards on that particular center, but they're not getting too much off the center right now. The line surge didn't really work too well for him at that particular point, but nonetheless, 2-3 yard gain, so they weren't shut out on it. So second down, about 7 yards to go.
Well, the good thing is, Han has taken some of the momentum away from the Guilford Indians, who really came out and were doing just about what they wanted to do. Now Han's got to move the ball and get a couple of first downs.
Clark of the ball, the Gentile, pass back to Gronkowski. Scotty's going, he's trying to make the corner. He's got a little bit of lead, he's got the first down. And he's crushed the half-field line.
That's exactly what they needed. What that was a toss left, where Scott this time was playing the tailback position. Scott ran hard, hit the hole quick, cut it outside, pick up the first down.
Good, that one worked very, very well for Han. Scotty's a real hard, tough runner when he's out there, and that one took up some good mileage, if you will, for Han. Han, first down. Gentile passes back to Ned Lynch, trying the same kind of play off the side. Ned Lynch is hit on about the 8-yard line, but he moves it
first down. There's a toss left, back-to-back with two different runners. Both runners picked up 10 yards.
Both runners, good 10-yard run. Both of them hit, too, and be able to shed the blockers off. So That's the kind of momentum Hand has to build up to get in front of this ball game.
And what that'll do is when you run that toss play, what you'll tend to do is start loosening up your secondary and your corners. You can come back off that and run a sprint out pass.
All right, ball's in play. Pass back going right this time, but tripped up, unfortunately. Ned.
That time Justin Kingsley buried the end. Nice block, but Ned got tripped up really over the leg of the defender who was on the ground.
That's right. Just the leg happened to come up and just trip him up. That's all it takes sometimes when you're flying high. However, about a yard.
But our Tigers are on the move.
Tigers on the move. Second down. Clock over the ball. Handing it back at this moment. Gentile whistles. Okay, let's hope this penalty is not going to hurt Hand.
I think that's the period.
Yes, I hadn't even been watching the clock too well. So that is the period. So here we are at the end of the third period with Guilford ahead 12-7 in this game, being brought to you by Madison Cable TV. Hand is on the move and has some pretty good momentum building at this point. Let's see if they're able to keep it up. We certainly hope they can. We'll try to project that into the end zone for them if we can, and being very partial. Nobody can say that we're supposed to be impartial because we don't even care about that. Get just as excited for these young men as anybody can be. All right. And will now be moving, as you look at it, from the right to the left, going to the east direction, if you will, from this field. The wind is still blowing very, very strongly, moving the flags virtually straight out.
And we're here on the opposite side of the press box, right between the battle of the bands. We've got the Hand Tiger band to our right and the Guilford Indian band to our left.
Yeah, that's great. This is the real flavor of high school football all the way. All right, Hand taking the ball. First play from scrimmage. Gabkowski going to the right. He shed some blockers, takes it a little deeper. And he did a nice job running that thing. He shed the 2-3 blockers coming at him with a good, strong shot at him and out of bounds, ran out of territory.
You're right. He showed good strength running. He showed some nice speed and good balance that time.
Oh, keep him in, coach.
Okay, here we go. Hand, second play, third play. Third down and 4 for Hand. Let's see what they're able to do. See if they can pick up that first down again. Okay, Gumkowski up the center. He's got the first down. All right. Now that was a haul that you can be proud of, going up the center.
Well, offensively up front, they're starting to do the job in the trenches, and that's where these guys are going to win the game, because that's where Hand really does have the advantage. They've got the big boys up front. If they can start moving them out, and they can start picking up the yardage and play control ball offensively, and can put it in the end zone.
Confidence and adrenaline. Okay, hand out. Gumkowski going right again, going deep. Oh, he got a little bit out there, but not quite enough territory to really pick up and go.
I think that time Scott kind of lost his footing. They did seal off the corner. It was a toss right. He was trying to cut back to the outside, and I think he lost his footing.
Yeah, I think that's true. You've seen some out there. This certainly isn't as bad as the mud goal of 4 years ago, but it's tough on the kids trying to make cuts on that. Looks like good turf. And okay, Hand to Sean Lynch. Oh, nice quick out pass. Sean, he completed it. It'll be third down, about 4 to go.
What that is a slant pattern to the inside where Matt just takes one step back and fires it to Sean. And usually that's good for about 5-yard pickup.
Just about
that's what it was.
Yeah, just about what happened on that. Okay, Hand, third down, about 3 yards to go. They need another good kicker on this, if they will. Okay, the ball comes to Gentile. Passes off the center for Gumkowski. He's not going to have enough for the first down, but it may be close enough for a fourth down.
And we are in 4-down territory and down by 6. I wouldn't expect that Hand would attempt a field goal here. They are calling no, I guess it's an official timeout because the player's down.
Player's down.
But I would expect that Hand on 4th down and about a yard to go is going to go for it.
Yeah, I would think they would have to do that because again of the wind and that sort of thing here. But we get the player down as Beardsley. He's a tackle both defensively, and he's a senior. Well, let's hope he's just kind of laying in, has the wind knocked out of him, hopefully. He was honorable mention, by the way, in the conference. So, all right, here we go. There's a little official timeout on that because of an injured player. His name is Beardsley. He's down, but now we're back in play. He did go off on his own volition so that he's not hurt too badly out there. Okay. Hand off to Ned Lynch. Right open.
Super job of blocking on the corner. It was a cross right. Justin Kingsley kicked out. McHenry just very wide open touchdown.
Absolutely. That's what you call going to the money players, I would say. Between Ned Lynch having the ball and going up with it and cutting across Kingsley and McHenry to blow the hole when you needed it. Fourth down play all the way for a touchdown.
And really, that was the first offensive drive, offensive series where they truly had a drive. Their score in the first half really wasn't a drive, a couple of big plays, but really wasn't a controlled drive. This was the first time that we've seen a controlled drive by Hans offense.
Yeah, and they did. They mixed up the plays a bit. They went wide. They went inside. They came to a pass or two, and so it's a good mix of offensive playing, if you will. With 10 minutes left in the fourth period, Hand takes the lead, 13-12. There's a little discussion out there in the timeout. I didn't see who took the timeout, but are we going to try to kick and get the extra point, or are we going to go for two, which would get it out of the range of a win for Guilford with a field goal, or what do you think we'll do?
Well, I don't know, but just to comment on that last touchdown play, I think the coaches were taking advantage of the fact that big number 75, the tackle, was out on that play, and he had a replacement playing tackle at the point of attack. And that was the point of attack where they really sealed off the corner, and it was wide open.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. That's an excellent read on that, Jerry. Okay, Hand's going for two. If they can make this successful, then that'll make a field goal could only tie the game. Incomplete, so no goal. The score remained at 13-12. I think the logic on that again was that if you go for the one, it doesn't really do anything. You're already ahead.
That's exactly right.
Field goal could win the game still, and we know they've already gotten two good field goals. But with a two-pointer, hey, the best they could have done with the field goal is tie.
And it really didn't matter if they didn't make the extra point.
Right, exactly. Yeah, all right. It's a good call on Hand's part, trying to think that way, I think. All right, here we go. Hand is pulling ahead, 13-12, in a very, very exciting football game here Thanksgiving morning. Time is getting closer to turkey time for everybody. The wind is blowing right off the sound, right on out of the south here. And Hand is going to be kicking off. Hand players coming back on the field. You've got the Guilford team is already in position, basically. And standing back there is Gianforte, who's normally been back there, and Coles to take the ball, along with Toothaker and Bouvet, their stalwarts.
And you know, that drive should really juice up the Hands defensive team. And I think that Guilford has the potential to be let down since they've been leading for most of the game to have Hand go ahead. So here's a great opportunity for Hand's defense to just stuff the Guilford offense and get the ball back.
That's right, and it keeps the pressure on Guilford. Now is the one that has to make the chance he plays. I hope Hand will keep the aggressive defense we started seeing, you know, blitzing and that sort of thing. Okay, Sean kicks the ball. Sean Lynch got it up in the air. The wind starts blowing it back to us. Toothaker takes it at about the 20-yard line. He rushes out of bounds about the 28, 29-yard line with Toothaker. Kind of interesting on that. I wonder if they could tee the ball up on the other side and let the ball drift back. It would have been a lot more, it would have been interesting to see what that would have done.
Nonetheless, still a very effective kickoff because there was virtually no run back. Hand had about 5 defenders at the point of attack, and Toothaker had nowhere to go but out of bounds.
All right, it looks like they're taping number 75 on the sidelines here still. He's a real stalwart interior lineman for Guilford, both offense, defense, and like we said, he was all conference as well. Taping an ankle to send him back in soon, but he's not there now. Oh, the ball is handed off by Toothaker, and maybe a yard gain on that play. So again, maybe Hand's defense can take a little advantage too of maybe a new player sitting in there in the tackle position. See what happens. Second down with about 8 yards to go, I would say, someplace in that range. Out of the huddle breaks Guilford. And showing the standard defense out here, looking wide, couple of receivers wide and left and right, looking, Crash Mayer with the tight end. Nice tackle out there by Kenny Wilson. He's going to be slow getting up. He's injured. took him right on in the shoulder, it looked like a good tackle.
And that was an excellent call by Guilford. Hand's linebacking crew was thinking run, and it was a very quick drop by the quarterback, thrown right over the linebackers. That really was the responsibility of the linebackers.
Absolutely, and they had shown wide receivers supposed to put left and right on that thing too, which kept the corners out. So the inside was really quite wide open for that particular play. Gee whiz, I hope Kenny's okay down there. I think he probably is. It looked like an excellent basic tackle, but seemed to take him on right square on the pads, but maybe not. All that is being Kenny Wilson, but it wasn't. It was Timmy Cunningham. All right, Gianforte going wide for another first down, it looks like, on Guilford crossing the midfield marker.
That was a good job by Matt Gentile getting over there to save the touchdown, because if he had gotten by Matt, it was wide open.
Yes, it really was. Okay, Hand defense got to toughen up now.
46-yard line.
Okay, Hand's got to toughen up on that defense, and Derek Dene on this tight end, this defensive end position out here, see what he can do out there. Okay, Rob Zemer, linebacking position pass going up forward, straight ahead, goes almost nowhere. Let's see some good effective play by Hand's defense. Be second down and about 9 yards to go.
And that time it was Justin Kingsley getting some penetration and making the hit right at the line of scrimmage. And I think that what we're going to see, hopefully for Hand, as the fourth quarter winds down, is the big boys up front really wearing down Guilford's line.
All right, Toothache is going wide with the ball out to Gianforte. Gianforte's wide, and he's handled out there by Ned Lynch. Be another first down, but Ned Lynch and Rob Zemer on the tackle.
I don't know if our camera caught it, but Toothache is aching a little bit because Matt Young got some great penetration and put a great hit on Guilford's quarterback that time.
Okay, well, now the momentum is again shifted back. Guilford offense moving, sending a flanker wide left, getting ready to handle the ball. All right, pass off, coming calls this side, looking wide, looking chased out of bounds. So he's going to be out at about the, what is that, probably 24-yard line, it looks like. And it'll be second down and about 4 to go. Effective play that was a counter play also, it looked like.
And it's somewhat similar to the toss play for Hand, except that the blocking is done from the backfield versus Hand, which is down the line, where the fullback kicks out the end and they double team on the corner, and the tailback runs off the block.
Okay, Toothache with the ball off to Bouvet up to center, first down. First down again now. Guilford moving the sticks effectively. Trying to get also within Toothache's field goal range, too, as we look down here. All right, Matt Young's going off the field. Been replaced in there by Chris Conley, it looks like.
We got a first down.
Okay, Toothache, the hand off to Matt Coles. Looking wide, looking penetration, looking touchdown.
That's the same play they ran 2 plays ago, where the back kicks out the end, tailback comes off of his block. They've got a double team on the corner, and that time they blocked Ned outside. They cut in off that block for a touchdown.
Yep, that's the way it handled. That shifts the lead again now. We've got Guilford up there, 18-13 lead with 7.5 minutes left in the game.
Which is plenty of time left on the clock.
Okay, now what we're looking at, they're going to go for a two-pointer out here, see if they can cut it down. 2 points will give them a chance for a stronger lead. Going pass, showing pass, going deep, plenty of receivers. Ball's caught. They're giving it to him, 2 points. I thought it looked like a trap. That's going to make it 20-13.
And what that'll do, Frank, is that'll force Hand going for the win to go for the 2-point conversion if they score.
Yep, that's right.
Right now, Guilford's up by 7 points.
They've been able to take the math and move it in their favor now, because Hand tried to do it on their last touchdown. So right now, 7 minutes, 37 seconds. Again, not time to panic whatsoever from Hand's standpoint.
All Hand has to do is exactly what they did offensively on the previous series. Open up the holes, play controlled offense, and not make any mistakes.
Precisely. Okay, now Hand is looking to make that touchdown. Got to go with a touchdown now all the way.
You know, Frank, this is what Thanksgiving football is all about. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of emotion, where the lead changes back and forth.
I wish I was keeping track. I didn't expect it to happen this often this game, but every score has been a lead change when you think about it. Each team, it's just been seesaw all the way. And basically a lot of strong defense on both sides, too, still. Not really an offensive game. All right, Toothaker, you're ready to kick. It's teed up. He kicks. Going very, very deep to the sidelines and it's out of bounds.
So I think the wind created that penalty that time, Frank.
I think so, too.
Which is coming right from the press box right in our face.
Yeah, right directly at us, blowing the ball towards the side. Certainly didn't have any... If there was a hook in it, it straightened the hook out. Again, as I wonder why you don't kick from the other hash mark when the wind is blowing this direction. But what do I know? All right, Tomahawk Rock is going again over here to our left to the Indians. The hand team is looking up, getting set. John McInnery, co-captain, is trying to cheer the boys on out there. Back in receiving capability, we have Scotty Gimkowski and Ned Lynch. Toothaker getting ready to kick with a strange lineup out there. See what they have. Here we go. The drums roll. The whistle blows. Toothaker dances on the ball and kicks. It's low.
And they were offsides.
Yes.
So that's going to be another penalty. I was watching the line. They went offsides as soon as the ball was kicked. So that's going to push them back another 5 yards, Frank.
Well, that interesting lineup that you see on their kickoffs obviously meant to help somebody build some momentum as they approach the ball, but it caused the offsides at that point, it looks like. So Hand has picked up 10 yards of offense so far on penalties.
Yeah, you're right. What it does is it allows the defenders in back to hit that line of scrimmage at full throttle. And it's also very confusing up front for the blockers because usually they pick out a man that they're blocking. It's usually man blocking.
Here we go again.
And as you say, momentum is already moving for defense at that point. Again, Ball's up. Ball's out of bounds again.
And that's another 5 yards.
5 yards. Okay.
Well, we can do this all the way to the end zone, can't we, Frank?
I don't know. What happens? Do you ever kick from the end zone or something like that?
Well, we'll just keep going.
That's all right. I'll take it as far as we can go with it this way.
We're going in the right direction.
The clock isn't moving very much either.
We'll take it back to the 25. We're going to try it.
Yeah, the kick now will be from the 25 instead of the 40. Toothaker does go to tee it up again. They're ready to kick it. Both times, Scotty Gimkowski was getting ready to take that ball in hand, but seeing it go out of bounds, he just let it go very smartly. All right, here we go. The drums roll. The whistle blows. Toothaker advances on the ball and nails it. Doesn't have a lot to it, but it's taking the next hit out short. He's moving wide. Got a little help out there, and he moves it across the midfield on the kick return.
Well, that was real heads up by Matt Gentile. It was a line drive that was kicked right between the nose. Matt Gentile picked it up, made a nice cut to the outside, and picked up some good yardage, which puts Hand in Guilford territory.
That's right. Instead of letting it go all the way back to the deep back and having to make that yardage up, you already get another 10 on the kick. So, okay, Nettie Lynch up the center. Off tackle, actually. Gets about 5-6 on the first play.
Well, that was a toss right, which is the play that Hand has met with some success in the second half. And it looks like Hand's offensive team is picking up right where they left off, and they're picking up 5-7 yards a crack.
That's right. Okay, they went to their power. McInnery, Dene, and Kingsley over on that right side. Hey, Gumkowski and Torres, pass coming left. Gumkowski looking wide. Oh, and he's driven back by Toothaker.
I think they'll mark his forward progress at the initial hit, which will be a pickup of about 3 more yards.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the way it'll probably look. Okay, giving that a break that time was Gumkowski. He goes out and Ed comes back in with the flag. And breaks, clock gets up to the ball.
And this is a big, important series right here with 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 and 6 minutes on the clock. And has to go. They need a full touchdown. Okay, Torres moves forward.
And very, very close, I think, to the first down. I think it's going to be fourth down, but he's put it within a yard.
There it looks. We'll look for a good spot if possible. Good, I don't think that was
a little more in the yard. He's got about 2 yards, I think.
He's got about 2. Wow, this is going to be
big, big play.
Very big play. Ned goes up. The play comes in. Okay, showing a spread. Hands getting ready. Takes the ball up the middle, goes Torres.
And that is a first down.
That is it.
What Hand had was a split backfield, and that was just a quick dive off the right-hand side of the line. And Chris Torres is the guy to call on a quick dive because he's got such an explosive start and hits the hole with his shoulder square in the line of scrimmage real quick. And it was a nice surge by the offensive line.
Okay, advancing. Here we go. Ned Lynch back in. Torres in for full. Looking over the defense. Gentile takes the ball, rolling to the right. Looking fast. Kid tucks it away. Moves forward. Gets a good run on the option. A little less than 5 minutes now left on the clock. And has got to keep this drive going. Band cranks up again. Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger we're hearing out here. See if it cranks him up. Rocky Balboa gets on the ball. We'll call P-Clock Rocky Balboa. Okay. Man in motion. Wilson. Pass up the center. Gumkowski. Doesn't get any distance off that. Maybe a yard. Most likely right at the line of scrimmage on that one. The third down and about 6. Play comes in with Gumkowski. The defense is tightening up out there. Okay, Hand advances on the ball. Gentile gets over Clark. Pats him, says, okay, here we go. Gumkowski in motion. Third down. Pass to Sean Lynch. It's not going to be anywhere near enough for a first down, I think, on that third down play. Now, it gets close, though. Fourth down and 2. 1.5. Another big play here, Jay.
Another big play.
Beautiful sunny day here, Thanksgiving Day. Clock is under 4 minutes.
And cannot afford to turn over the ball now. They've got to maintain possession. This is really one of the most critical plays of the whole game. Less than 4 minutes to go with 4th and 1.
Split backs again. And he's going to have the first down.
Well, you know, it's difficult to defend on a 4th and 1 with 2 backs like Torres and Gumkowski in the backfield. They're both very strong runners. They both hit the hole real hard. It's very difficult to key on one back because both backs can do the job for you.
That's right. In history, if they're playing defense by history, they would expect to go to Torres on that play. Went the opposite side to Gumkowski and very effective. And from the 30. Good pass at the Lynch. Lynch goes, jumps over the linebacker, and maybe gets a couple out there.
Well, that's the toss right. That's been very effective for Hand today, but it looks like Guilford is starting to shut that down.
Okay, whistle on the field. All right, 2:47 on the clock. Hand on the drive. Second down and about 8 yards to go.
On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin. All right. Over the ball. Hand takes the hand off. Passes it back, going wide. See if we can turn it off. Gianforte out there. Gumkowski out of bounds. Good.
That was an excellent call. What that was a counter where they faked to the fullback going to the right, and they gave to Gumkowski coming back the other way.
All right, he got 2-3 yards on that by going out of bounds. Also, the clock stops. Hand has to play that clock now. Third down, about 4 yards to go, so it's not an easy play to call out there. Do we pass? Do we run? Do we option? Well, I'll go for the option. The ball's on this side of the field. Matt likes to go on his option to the right. So the Hand offense comes out of huddle. Sends receivers wide, both sides. Wilson and Lynch. Handoff up the center to Torres. And does he get there? Okay, a good play. Spread the defense out, see if Chris can get enough up there. mentioned Chris Torres is doing an outstanding job this year.
And we've got another 4th down and 1, Frank.
And 4th and down, 4th and 1.
You know, this is making the parents that we're sitting with very nervous here.
Absolutely, a lot of nail biting.
We've had 3 4th and 1s in a row.
Well, nail biting all over the place here. Okay, it's hard to see grown men cry, but they're close to it. I think it's the wind in the face, really. Okay, Matt on the ball. Gets ready. Looked like some motion to me.
I don't think he got it,
I don't either.
I think Guilford had a big surge in the middle.
Yep.
It depends where they're going to mark the ball, but I think the ball's going to be turned over. They'll probably measure.
They're going to go for a measure. I think you're right. I thought that Guilford actually moved, but then again, we couldn't see it from this angle. Whoa! All right, out come the change. Very, very critical. If the ball goes over with less than 2 minutes left, then it does turn over. The
Only by inches. Only by inches.
Well, that was a close one.
Now, I believe Hand has all their timeouts left. So if they stuff Guilford and they use their timeouts properly, I believe Hand has an opportunity to get the ball back.
That's the way it would appear. Okay, Zima leaves the playing field. Hand is over on defense. They're going to be picking up. Maybe they can cause a fumble, but that's the one thing that Guilford's going to try not to do. Is they're going to try to just hold on, play very, very conservative ball, starting off down there in their 15-yard line. They do a line plunge.
Okay, that's the first timeout called by Hand.
Minute 19 more. Minute 19 left.
In fact, there's a lot of people leaving the stadium, and I think they're a little premature and taking off right now. There's still some game left here.
Absolutely. Matt Cole's going wide. They're going to run. Hand's got him. Might be a first down, but awful close.
If it is a first down, Hand will not be able to get the ball back.
Oh, it is a first down. So Hand now has to cause a fumble. I thought they had an opportunity on that one if they could have gotten through. Matt Coles was running with the ball deep, and there was an opportunity to maybe knock it free. But now it's first down and 10 from about the 22-yard line.
And that's Hand's second timeout that they just called with 1:06 left on the clock.
5 inches. Okay. 5 inches. Hand lost that 4th down play, and now Guilford's on the freeze mode, if you will. Toothaker under the ball. Tries a QB snake. The Hand tries to hold him up and see if they can knock it free, but they don't do it.
Well, it's very frustrating for Hand right now because they really can't get the ball back. I think they have one more timeout. But Guilford will be able to run the clock out. And it's unfortunate because Hand in the second half has really been playing tremendous defense, and their offense has been moving. Just inches away from keeping the drive going before.
Okay, sending Coles right, I don't know, left. This is the play they normally try to do to get it up to Coles quickly. Oh, no, they're doing a QB again. Dropping on the Hand should be out of timeouts, right? That was at 27 seconds and counting 20.
Well, as the clock winds down, I think we ought to thank Ron DeZima. We're here in the stands because they're too afraid to let us take over the press box across the way, who did a great job of putting together a platform to allow Lynn Richards, myself, and Frank Teardoff to be here with all the parents on this side of the field.
Well, that's right. We do want to thank everybody for this season. It was an excellent season, really overall for Hand, although the record of 6-5 now doesn't show it. The final score here at Guilford is 20-13. Guilford, very happy group of people over there. When Guilford winning their second game out of the 19 attempts with Hand. So maybe he shows a little parity coming back in the Coastal Conference League here a little bit.
And I'd like to congratulate the seniors who did a fine job all year. I hope they go on to continue their football career. I'd also like to congratulate the coaching staff at Hand High, even though 6-5 is not in keeping with the real strong winning tradition that Hand has had over the years. It's still a winning season. They're on a rebuilding year. There's a lot of young kids coming back next year. I think that Hand is going to have a tremendous football team next year, and I wish the seniors the best of luck.
That's right, and any of the young people out there that are listening to this ball tape and watching the game and that sort of thing. Stay out for football. Keep going. You've got